Hello dear students. In this video we will learn some library functions which are required for operating strings. So as you see, the topic is string functions. Now we are learning some of the built-in functions called library functions, and these functions are used for doing some operations on array of characters or strings. All these library functions which are associated with strings are defined in a header file string.h. So make sure if you are using any of the library functions described below, then you have to write a line #include angled bracket string.h. So you see several library functions are defined in this file, and we are going to learn 5 out of them which are commonly used. Just check the names of the string functions. The very commonly used functions are strlen. Now note, all the string functions begin with str, stands for string, and as you see, strlen means length of the string, strcpy copy a string, strcat concatenate or join two strings, strcmp means compare two strings, and strcmpi, as you see, is also same as strcmp. That means both these functions are meant for comparison of the strings, but I here in strcmp I means ignore case. We will learn each of these in detail. So best way to learn how these functions work is directly by seeing an example. Just see what is strlen and how to use it. All of you are aware of this declaration. This means X is an array and it stores the letters as specified A, B, C, then there is a space you watch in this initial value, and then D, E, F, and most importantly character \0, which is always stored. So the locations of this array are 0 to 7. Just check again, although this is not there in our topic right now, but X, while declaring this array X, we have not given the size of the array. This is possible only if you are giving some initial value. Okay, only then you can write this square bracket empty, because C language will find out the length of the array depending on the number of letters you have given. So if somebody asks you what is the length of the string here, which is stored in the X array, the length will be found just by counting the number of characters up to F. Check my words. You will not count this \0 because \0 is not the part of your string. You will count all letters from A to F, how many letters are there, and the answer will be 7. Yeah, not 6, although F is stored at 6th position, but the length of this word or this string is 7, because you will count A as first letter, although it is stored at 0 position, but while counting we will count it as first, second, third, even space will be counted, 4th letter, 5th letter, 6th letter, and 7th letter. So the length of this string will be 7. How do you find it in C language? Just declare some variable of type integer, let's call it as len, and we'll say len is equal to strlen of X. Check that strlen is a string function which takes a string. See, in the bracket what we have given is a string, that is array of characters, and what strlen does, it simply starts counting how many letters are there in the string from the beginning, but it counts letters from 1. So 0th index letter is counted as 1, then 2, and so on. So in this example, 7 will be the value of len. this variable len is going to store 7 as there are 7 characters in A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. Now, just remember that strlen needs a string. So, in some case, if you already know the string, if you don't want to pass an array, you could have simply written in some other example like len is equal to strlen quotation ABC space DEF. Now note even here, the strlen will take this string because you have given the double quotation. This is after all a string. And it will again return len is equal to 7 because there are 7 letters in this. So what is important to understand is that strlen will take a string, and string might be stored in an array of characters, or you can directly give a string to strlen as we have done here. Let's see the next function, strcpy. It stands for string copy. Now just hold on. Just check a simple example of strcpy. We have declared a char array x storing ABC space DEF. So in the memory, this array will be storing letters one after the other, ABC, then space, then DEF, and finally backslash 0. And you know the positions are 0 to 7. Okay, this is x. And now we have declared one more array y, you watch. But y is not initialized. Check that. That means y is also in the memory, and this y is having locations from 0 to 19 because it is 20 location array. Okay, this is 0, this is 19th location. Now what we want to do, we want to simply copy the contents of x in y. In short, we want to do y should become equal to x. Look at this line actually. This is an assignment statement which says whatever is there in x must be stored in y. So at first moment, any beginner would think that this line will be okay. I can write like this. Y is equal to x. Anybody would feel like that because whenever we wanted anything to become equal to something, we always used assignment statement. But this isn't going to work. This line won't work. Why? Check the fundamentals. What is x? X is an array. And what does name of the array give us? Name of the array gives us base address of the array. What is y? Y is also an array. And what does name of the array give us? Name of the array gives us base address of the array. So by writing y is equal to x here, you are saying base address represented by x should be stored in y. That means you are not copying the contents. You are trying to copy the address. And you all know one more fundamental, that array is a constant pointer. That means you cannot ask y to store some other base address. Once y stores base address of its own array, you can't tell y now you store base address of x, because y and x both are constant pointers. So I hope y is equal to x is not possible because you are trying to copy address over here. Therefore, one function has been provided called strcpy, string copy, and there are two parameters given to strcpy, y comma x. Now this has to be read as follows: copy x in y. Check the direction. That means source array is given second. Who is the source array? X is the source array. And source is getting copied in the destination. So destination, that is y, is given as the first parameter. So by this function, what will happen is y will literally become equal to a, b, c, space, d, e, f, and then backslash 0. Check the locations 0 to 7 are now filled. 7th location is exactly backslash 0, and rest of the locations of course are not used here, so they may store some garbage values. Okay, so simple. This is the way how you copy one character array. Let me again repeat. One character array can be copied in another character array. This function is only for copying the character array. So now just observe, it's not necessary that both the parameters must be arrays. For instance, what do you say about this? Suppose I have a statement as string copy y, so you know y is the destination, and in quotation here I say abc space def semicolon. Now this is the source. You recall that the second parameter given is always the source. So this abc space def will be copied in the y array. You all can easily understand that, as I have said, that the first parameter is the target or destination and the second is the source. I hope you understand that this target must be array of characters. It cannot be a constant. Yes, for example, this statement is wrong. strcpy, suppose zlm space ddd something I am writing, comma x. Now this is too much. What I am saying is whatever is stored in this x array, copy it in this string. But this string is a constant. See that the target has to be an array and the source can be either an array or a constant string. Okay, so that is how strcpy works. Two functions we have seen so far, strlen and strcpy. Now when we come back in the next video, we will see the other two functions strcat and strcmp. Thank you very much.